What's going on, YouTube? This is SG1 Sports, and we're here at the voice of college football. If you are a Wisconsin fan, please subscribe to our Wisconsin channel. If you're a Big Ten fan, please subscribe to our Big Ten channel. We're going to preview the 2022 schedule for Wisconsin. Before we get to 2022, let's look back at 2021. Here was the schedule from 2021 for Wisconsin. You see, out of the East, they had to play Michigan. That wound up being a tough game. They played Notre Dame in the non-conference, also Penn State out of the East. No Ohio State, but still Penn State, Michigan, pretty tough draw there. And then also Rutgers. Season started off really rough for them, losing 3 of their first 4. Then they went on that great run before losing to Minnesota in a game that if they had won, they would have been in the Big Ten championship. But yeah, the schedule... It was pretty tough with Notre Dame in the non-conference, Michigan and Penn State in their cross-division games. Let's look now at 2022, and here is that schedule. Before we go game by game, let's look at who they play outside of the division. They're going to play Illinois State, Washington State, and New Mexico State. So a pretty easy non-conference schedule. Washington State will not be an easy win or anything, but it's a game where Wisconsin should be favored. It's not like you're playing a top 10, top 15 powerhouse type team. It is a Power 5 team, but not too tough of a game there in the non-conference. And then if you look at who they play out of the East, that's where it gets tougher. They play both Ohio State and Michigan State on the road. So 2 of the top 3 teams probably out of the East. Also Maryland, a team that has potential. They're not a bad team or anything. So a really tough draw out of the East for Wisconsin this year. Now let's see how it goes game by game. They start with Illinois State in the opener, then Washington State, then New Mexico State. So first 3 games are their 3 non-conference games. Then they will play Ohio State on September 24th on the road. Very tough game there. Follow that up with Illinois on October the 1st. And then it's on the road at Northwestern on October the 8th. So outside of Ohio State, when you look at these first 6 games, the first half of the schedule, Wisconsin has a great chance to win those other 5 games. So they could start 5-1, which would obviously be a much better start than they had last year. It's really the last half of the schedule where it turns into more of a grind, where you got a tough game every single week pretty much. It starts with Michigan State there on October the 15th. Then they'll play Purdue on October 22nd. They do get a bye week after Purdue, so you get a little bit of a break there. They play Maryland on November 5th. Then it's on the road at Iowa November 12th, on the road at Nebraska November 19th. They close things out with Minnesota at home. That stretch right there, that's going to determine if Wisconsin's going to be winning the Big Ten West, because you got 3 division games, maybe the 3 best teams in the division outside of Wisconsin with Iowa, Nebraska, and Minnesota. I don't want to sleep on Purdue, but those 3 games, very tough there, and they could be in a great position going into those 3 games, but you lose 2 of those 3 games, and all of a sudden, maybe Wisconsin's not making it to the Big Ten championship. So that's the most important part of their schedule, I think, those last 3 games. A schedule that is not too bad in the first half, other than Ohio State. Very manageable schedule, but then once you get into that second half of the schedule, it's pretty tough for Wisconsin. So I like the non-conference schedule if I'm a Wisconsin fan, as far as being easy. They get a pretty favorable non-conference schedule, but they do not get a favorable conference schedule when you look at who they play out of the East. So that's going to make this a pretty tough schedule for Wisconsin in 2022.